You know, when you're dating someone or you've been together for a long time, there are just specific things you shouldn't say to your man. No problem with being real and speaking your mind, just not like that. You don't really want to step on toes or make them think you're out of your mind. So here are 10 things you should never say to a man for running along smoothly in relationships. The first thing to never say to a man is, "My ex would never do that." You know, mentioning your ex and how they did things differently, that's a road you don't want to go down. Think about it. How would you feel if he kept comparing you to his ex, pointing out all the ways you're not quite there? It's not exactly a recipe for a happy relationship. When you start comparing your guy to your ex, especially in a way that puts the ex on a pedestal, it's like telling him he's second best. And let's be real, no one likes feeling like they're playing second fiddle, especially to an ex. This kind of talk can make a guy feel undervalued, and it can seriously damage the trust and intimacy you've built. It might even push him away. After all, who wants to stick around feeling like they're constantly being compared to someone else? If there's something you feel you need in your relationship, there's a way to communicate that without dragging your ex into the conversation. Be direct about it, what you're looking for, but make it about you and him, not about how your ex did things. Alright, on to another big no-go. All men are jerks. Maybe you've had some rough experiences in the past, and that can really sting, but painting all guys with the same jerks brush, that's a bit harsh and honestly not fair. Imagine flipping the script. Picture you're out on a date and the guy goes, "All women are crazy." Would that sit well with you? Probably not, right? You'd probably think he's got some serious issues with women, and it's not your role to play fixer-upper with his mindset. Here's the thing, if you start believing that all men are jerks, you're going to be on high alert all the time. You'll be scanning for any sign of jerk behavior, expecting the worst, and that's no way to build a real connection or a solid relationship. You're basically setting it up to fail from the get-go. Moving on to another big thing you should avoid saying, "Nope, nothing is wrong," when something actually is. Expecting him to read your mind and know exactly what's bothering you isn't fair. I know it'd be great if he just got it without you having to spell it out, but let's be real, that's not how it works. It's not his job to be a psychic. Nobody can guess every thought or feeling another person has. That's why it's so important to be upfront about what you're feeling. Being emotionally mature means recognizing your own needs and expressing them in a way that's clear and direct without making your partner feel blamed or shamed. When you hold back on saying what's really going on, it can create a lot of confusion and tension. It's like leaving him in the dark and then getting upset because he can't find the light switch. Instead, try to be open about what's bothering you. It's way healthier for your relationship to have honest and straightforward communication. That way, you both know where you stand and can work on things together, rather than playing a guessing game. And here's another thing to avoid. Why don't you ever... You know when you're feeling frustrated and you say something like, "Why don't you ever do or act this or that way?" This kind of phrase can really hit a guy in the wrong way. It comes off as nagging and ungrateful, and men don't like to feel nagged at. When you put things this way, it can make him feel pretty resentful. It's like you're highlighting all the things he's not doing without recognizing the good stuff he does. And that can make him want to retreat, maybe even do less of what you're asking for, not more. He's a pro tip. Try flipping the script. Instead of focusing on what he's not doing, highlight what you love that he does. Say something like, "I really love it when you..." something he does that you appreciate. This kind of positive reinforcement works wonders. It makes him feel good, appreciated, and more motivated to keep doing those things that make you happy. Okay, moving on to another big no-no, bringing up the things you have forgave him for. Ever find yourself bringing up old stuff he did, the things you said you forgave him for? That's a path you really don't want to go down. Keeping a tally of his past mistakes and throwing them back at him when you're upset? Not a great strategy. If you've forgiven him for something, it's important to really let it go. I mean, truly move past it. Bringing it up again just makes things messy. It comes across as being immature and petty. It's like digging up old bones. It doesn't do good for anyone. This habit can really put a damper on your relationship. Alright, next up is something you definitely want to avoid saying. Commenting on how attractive his friends are. Yeah, that's a no-go. When you're in a relationship with someone, focusing on how hot his buddies are can stir up unnecessary trouble. Think about it this way. You chose to be with your guy for a reason, right? Even if his best friend is a total Brad Pitt lookalike, it shouldn't really matter to you. Saying something like that can make your man feel really insecure, or like he's in some kind of competition with his friends, and that's just not a good feeling. Comments about the attractiveness of his friends can be taken the wrong way and might lead to jealousy or tension. Next up, let's talk about a really sensitive topic: criticizing his mom. Criticizing his mom, or even saying something as harsh as "I hate your mom," that's definitely something you want to avoid. No matter how long you've been together, this kind of comment can really hit a nerve. For a lot of guys, their mom holds a special place in their heart. She might be someone they really look up to, maybe even the standard they compare other women to. It's totally possible that his mom might have some traits that rub you the wrong way. Maybe she's a bit too involved or has a way of getting on your nerves, but remember, she's still his mom. It's crucial to handle any issues with his mom with tact and sensitivity. Next, let's talk about sharing details with your best friend. It's super common to share a lot with your BFF, but saying outright to your guy, "I tell my best friend everything about us," can be a bit tricky. Your guy might start feeling like he's not just in a relationship with you, but with your best friend too. It can create trust issues or make him feel like he's constantly being judged or evaluated. Plus, he might start wondering if every text you send him is actually a group effort. So, maybe dial back on how much you share about the intricate details of your relationship. It'll help keep the trust strong between you and your guy, and let's be honest, some things are just more special when they're a little more private. Now, on to another tricky thing: saying something like, "I'm only friends with guys." It's not that having guy friends is a problem, but saying it in a way that makes it sound like you exclusively prefer male company can make your guy feel a bit uneasy. To some guys, this might come across as a red flag. He might start to feel a bit threatened or wondered why you don't have or want female friends. It could lead to insecurities or jealousy, even if that's not your intention at all. He might start to question your interactions with these friends and feel uncomfortable with your openness around other guys. Make sure he knows he's your number one and that these friendships are just that: friendships. And finally, here's another important one. It's about those moments when he offers to help and you quickly say, "No, I'll do it myself." Guys often like to feel needed and helpful in a relationship. It's part of their way to show that they care, be it fixing something around the house or carrying heavy bags. When you consistently refuse his help, this might unintentionally send a message that you don't value his contributions or that you don't think he's capable. Of course, it's great to be independent and capable, but it's also okay to let him lend a hand sometimes. It's not about capability, it's about letting him show his care and support in his own way. That's all for today's video, ladies. What do you think of today's topic? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It means a lot to have your support and engagement, and we'll be back with more content soon, so stay tuned. Until then, take care of yourselves and keep sharing your thoughts and ideas. Best wishes to all of you, and we'll see you in the next video.